Welcome to the pod. Y'all, I'm in genuine shock right now because I just logged on to my account and I was like, I did a free trial with this platform. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll do a full membership. No problem for the price I selected. They just charged me the yearly amount. What the heck? So I'm literally shaking my head, talking to a robot, trying to get a refund because no one agreed to a yearly amount. No, especially because I'm so new to podcasting. I want to see what I like. There's a couple of other ones I want to try. I'm not about to commit to a year. So I'm literally have to wait for a teammate to get in contact with me to review my refund. I'm getting a refund. What is there to review? Like, the way I just went back to see if I missed something, the way it is so hidden that you couldn't even tell if it was a yearly or a monthly. When you select it, it looks like it's monthly, but there's literally a button to toggle off. I don't like that sneaky stuff. So it's been a long day. I'm exhausted. I went to see The Weeknd this weekend. It's so funny. This weekend was in Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. It was a good time. I was super close to The Weeknd, but now it is Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. And I'm exhausted. And I just want to go to bed. I've been working on a newsletter all day. I have a newsletter called What the Beauty, if you guys are into beauty stuff. I'm working on my third edition of it. And yeah, I've just been doing that all day, some other stuff. And it's just been super busy. And this is the last thing I needed to be charged yearly for something when I'm not even sure if I'm going to be here for a year. Podcast terms, like on that platform for a year. So it's just kind of like, oh my gosh. If I wasn't so hungover from yesterday and this weekend, it would be time for some wine. But I'm going to drink my bottled water, my mini bottled water. Anyway, how are you guys? What a crazy start. I know. I'm just in shock that they really tried that. So, definitely will be hearing from me. Okay, so let's... I am so floored right now because the yearly is like no joke. I'm shocked right now. Anyway, let's get into these reality topics. This is your Tuesday episode. This whole week is throwing me off because today is Monday, even though it feels like a Sunday. Okay, so this is your Tuesday episode. And we're going to be doing Atlanta and Bravo's Love Hotel, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. I've been enjoying it a lot. Not that much reality topics. Some things I did want to talk about: Love Is Blind, Ashley from, I think it was like a season ago now, because they had a new season. The way none of us watched that new season, I did not watch it. I think it was like in the middle of nowhere, like I think it was in Minnesota or something. Shout out to Minnesota, but I'm just saying, like, the cast was white. I didn't even watch this past season of Love Is Blind. I think it was like their lowest rated season because there was like nobody black on there or Latino, nobody Asian. It was just a white cast. Nobody was here for that. That's the tea also with Love Island. I think they're going back to the drafts because they did post a cast photo because that's supposed to be coming out June 3rd. That's next week. Love Island's supposed to be back. But they posted a like photo, a carousel on Instagram with all of the Islanders. They took it down. When I say immediately, I mean immediately. They took it down immediately. The backlash they got, people are still talking about it on Twitter. And people are saying, why is it all white? Especially if you had such a successful season. Last season, when it was super diverse, why is the cast so white? It seems like they too were affected by the Trump administration. I digress. But I wanted to talk about Love Is Blind, Ashley from a couple seasons ago. She was the one that really tried to give that man Tyler a chance. She was the one claiming that she knew what was going on. She had the real receipts. We didn't really know what was going on. and that he was a sperm donor. And AD has a podcast, which is so funny because it is called What's the Reality? Or is it a show? I think it's a show and a podcast. It's so funny because obviously my podcast name is What the Reality. And it's so hilarious because she dropped hers February. And I'm sure she was working on it for a long time. Like, no shade, no tea. But I mean, mine was always going to be What the Reality. It was never going to be What's the Reality, besides my segment, What's the Reality on What the Reality, which we do have another episode coming out this week. I'm really excited for the topic. But it was never going to be What's the Reality. It's just so funny because I was like, my worst case scenario is like some celebrity or reality star having my same podcast name. And then that literally happened when she came out in February with that. But I was just like, my podcast, it was just like, I had too many ideas and stuff. I wasn't going to be getting it up. But it is just funny to me how like that dropped in February. All love to AD. Well, some love. But Ashley went on AD's podcast, and the Jessie Woo of it all basically said how there's certain women preying on her downfall, certain Black people preying on her downfall, and Ashley was saying that too. Ashley didn't do her research, though. I mean, AD didn't do her research, though, but I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. Because when you have a big production like that, I feel like you kind of rely on your guests to carry the show. That's the real tea. But she went on there and said that Jessie Woo and like Black internet, the culture was attacking her this whole time when she just said she shouldn't have been attacked. I agree with that. And then she also said that, well, who was that? Not me looking out the window. And then she also said that she had to do her own investigative research and all of this stuff, and basically found that Tyler was the father of those kids. I made a TikTok. When do I not? Maybe I'll insert it here. Made a TikTok because I was just like, girl, Ashley and AD, my opinion, whether you like them or not, they're examples of women that lead with femininity and sex and expect different outcomes from men. AD willingly walked down an aisle to marry Clay in the most fried situation ever, with a Fashion Nova dress on with a slit as high as her hoo-ha, and still say yes to him when he was like, go body, or yes body, when that relationship was clearly just sex. And she led with sex. And then we got Ashley, who willingly married a man once the information was out, but she's like, there's no way. He's literally a sperm donor, even though there was pictures on the internet. And he's like, I'm just very active in their lives. What sperm donor do you know that is active in the kid's life? And he's like, well, this is my friend and she's a lesbian. Don't change the fact y'all slept together. So Ashley really tried to spin it. By the time at the reunion, she was all out of breath. She could barely breathe in her dress. Her dress was sucking her in. And she was trying to tilt to the side. And she was like, the internet don't know nothing more than me. So it's so funny that people would think that I wouldn't know this information. And there's people preying on her downfall. There's people that want to be a wife and they can never be a wife. I don't want to be a wife if that's what it means. She is dumb. Period. She's dumb. And so now we're on here talking about the internet, now knowing that you had to sneak into his laptop and research to figure out if those were sperm donor babies or not. And you still got more heat for the internet than you do this Tyler guy. Or maybe you did have heat for him. I don't know. I think it's just so funny to me how she's like, the internet came for me. I had to carry the culture on my back. I was a representative for the Black culture. You wasn't a representative of me, honey. Because I told you, we all told you, that man is the father. And then it just would seem so weird to me how you could even continue on and get married to this guy, knowing that there's been this whole discrepancy, switch up of stories, something you've never been told before. He only told you this because it was coming out in social media. I don't know. So Ashley is mad. She got it off her chest. She is no longer a wife. maybe she will go over the seas like AD did and find somebody. But period. AD is expecting. She's pregnant. She's also engaged to Ollie from Love is Blind UK. Super excited for AD. All love for AD. All love for Ashley. It's just you can't really shake stupid sometimes. Some people really just are dumb and you can't help them at all. In other news, there's a clip of Ciara. I'm going to insert it here. Ciara Miller from Summer House. She is dancing. She is getting her groove on. Ciara got a groove back. Ciara is in a whole different light. We've never seen her. She got the blonde wig on, the Brantley wig. This is from the past like episode where she was like, her costumes always kill it. She was a man in finance. And that was scary. And that is scary. That's what I'm hearing in New York City. But she dressed up as that. And there's a clip of her going around, or not even going around. Kyle posted this on TikTok. He's like, I just need an appreciation post at Brantley from Ciara Miller. And she is getting down. And I'm just saying, y'all, where has this Ciara been? This is the Ciara I can get with. Like, this is the Ciara that I feel like so many of us would just get with. Like, we just never seen her this way. And then it just makes me realize, like, because the cameras really get shut down at the party after a certain point. Like, I don't know. I feel like they were rolling the whole time. I feel like it just goes to show how much production plays in making a reality show. And how much people do get certain cuts and scenes. Because no lie, Ciara comes off so boring and just super thirsty for men when you watch the show. And it's just like, Ciara's caught up in another relationship that we just know is not going to work. That's how it comes off. But I'm watching a clip of her dance to freaking Nelly, Hot in Here. She's having a good time. Watching Paige and Amanda even dance. Like, it's just like, are we watching an altered universe? Because I much rather watch the universe Kyle just posted. It just seemed so much fun. Emerald had Ciara on her shoulders. I'm going to be playing it, hopefully. She's just dancing. She looks good in that blonde wig and blue eyes. Like, she just looks like she's having a good time. And I'm so upset that we never get this on the show, because I think a lot of us, especially Black women, would love Ciara more if we saw this side to her, because it's just like, it's kind of showing that Blackness, that Black culture, because every time I see her, I'm like, and someone put it the best terms, I hope it was someone Black saying this, but they were like, they whitewashed Ciara. And now that I've watched that clip, it's so funny how 1-2 minute clip can do something for me. I do think they probably whitewash her on the show so she's more appeasing to the white audience on Bravo. Because as you can see, I don't know if they whitewash Gabby, but Gabby is very much edited down. Maya was very much edited down. I do wonder how much of that is watered down. And yeah, so I am a Ciara fan now after that, because I'm like, okay, she is not just this pretty girl, because people call me a pretty girl, bourgeois, but it's like, I know how to have a good time. And I never saw that in Ciara. She was giving me like Jordan from Martha's Vineyard. I was just like, she's a little too, a little too stuck up. Jordan is definitely from Martha's Vineyard. I haven't seen that side of her. That last season of her was not a good one. But I always thought that of Ciara. So now seeing this clip of her dancing, I don't know, it's just so funny to me. And it's not so funny because then we got Bravo and Cocktails little quick blind item sent in that Ciara's probably going to be on Dancing with the Stars. I'm like, that's exactly why she's going to be on Dancing with the Stars, because she's getting down. They said, oh, let's ask Ciara. People are saying, how does Sheena feel? Sheena is irrelevant. But I am shocked that it wasn't Paige DeSorbo announced. But I feel like that's something Paige definitely just wouldn't do. So maybe that's why. But it was just so crazy to watch Ciara get down like that. I'm like, on period. But yes, there's a blind item. I'm going to insert that as well. Ciara might be on Dancing with the Stars. Ariana also was on Watch What Happens Live. She was on Watch What Happens Live with someone from Atlanta. I can't remember who. I think it was Portia. And Andy was like, do you think you can put in a good word in for Sheena? Also, Andy is so messy. I'm going to talk about Watch What Happens Live today as well. And he was like, clearly she wants to be on. And Ariana was like, I think that's the thing they don't like. They don't like it when you make it super obvious that you want to be on the show. So he was like, that makes sense. It makes sense for all of us. I knew she wasn't going to be on as soon as she said it. She's like, I was really prepping myself to be on Dance with the Stars. Girl, was anybody calling you at that point? Like, oh my gosh, Sheena, you're in the running. But she's still holding on to that. And now she's becoming irrelevant. And she's trying to do these quick little scenes on the Valley. And it's very forgetful. Like, I forget that they called her up like, hey, do you want to walk in 90-degree weather to film a scene for the Valley in the mountains? And she was like, yes, I do. I'm in a gossipy mode right now because of my money being taken yearly instead of monthly. So we have a little extra sass, a little extra shade today. Anyone can get it, honestly. Anyone. There's some more pregnancy news, y'all. Why did that seem like I was going to say myself? No. Who else is pregnant? Lauren and Cameron from Love is Blind. This is season 1 of Love is Blind. A lot of Love is Blind news today. I'm so happy for Lauren and Cameron because I feel like they have been trying for a while, and then everyone's always asking them, oh my gosh, are you guys pregnant yet? And they always have to be like, no. But she has a full bump. They did a whole production, a whole Instagram post, a whole Twitter post. It was so cute. It was giving OMG like a movie. You kind of knew what's happening, but the suspense was killing me. And the baby's due fall 2025. So she's been pregnant for a while. And like I said, I know people have been asking them for a while. So congrats are in order to Lauren and Cameron. I'm going to try to play some of the video here as well. It was a kind of a long video, so I don't think, as long as I'm talking about it, I don't think it'll be going over like that. But super proud of them. Congratulations. And I know they really wanted a kid. And on period, what else is going on? Kris Jenner. I'm putting that up on the screen too because I got to look at this. So there's this new trend going on in Hollywood, and if I were you, I would follow it, Larson. If I were you, I would follow it. Some people should follow it. So it looks like the girls are getting facelifts at 60, 70 instead of, or even, I think so, because even Caroline Stanbury from Dubai got one and her face looks snatched. Karen Huger got one before she was all stressed out with this jail case. Karen Huger is still in jail. But who else got one? It looked like Anne Hathaway got a refresh, but she's not even 60, but she looks good too. But Kris Jenner looks good. Something is going around. The girls are getting a surgery and it's looking good. Nene clearly got one. Who else got one? The face looks really good. Kris Jenner's face looks really good. Not lost connection. Wait, let me see. But yes, Kris Jenner got her a facelift and she looks fresh. She looks about Kim's age now. She looks good. The short haircut with the slick back is working. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this haircut. But yes, period, Kris Jenner. What else is going on before we get into this Real Housewives of Atlanta recap? Super excited because Miss Phaedra Parks is back. And we have an event to talk about that was just utterly disgusting to look at. Like, I don't know what is going on with her. She can learn a few things from the other newbie. But, okay, so Justin Bieber was brought up on stage at SZA and Kendrick Lamar's concert, Grand National Tour. And he was tweaking. I'm going to show you the video here. People are saying he needs a black woman. SZA apparently liked a tweet like that or something, being shady, messy. I live for it. What I saw was someone that needed rehab. I don't know if he needs a woman. He needs rehab. We do know the Diddy of it all is happening right now and is going on. That could definitely be affecting him. Definitely seem like, though, he needs rehab. The way she had to go up to him and touch his face for him to look up, like, hey, come back to Earth planet. Like, I don't know where he was. He could definitely use rehab. He does not look well. And yeah, I'm shocked that he was performing. I don't know. There's not much to say about that. So Drew Sidora went on Carlos King's podcast. I did not listen to it or his show because it's not on the podcast unless he drops the audio, I'm hoping. But she went on there. I did not watch it. I want to watch it, but I haven't finished it or anything. I got like 15 minutes in. Some revelations that I got just from watching the first 15. She used to date Michael B. Jordan. And you know what? People are like, she's lying. Drew Sidora was that girl like 2010, 2016. She's still that girl. I mean, she looks amazing. But she was on The Game, y'all. The Game was huge. It was a huge show, especially in the Black community. It aired on... It BET took it, but at first it was airing on something. And you know what's crazy? A connection. Ooh, what was it airing on, y'all? Wait, the CW. It was airing on the CW for the first 3 seasons. And you know what's crazy? A Bravo connection. Kelsey Grammer, Camille Grammer's ex, used to produce that show. Mind blown. You know who also used to, that was a spinoff of Girlfriends. Oh my gosh, I love Girlfriends. I love Girlfriends. Mara Brock Akil, she also, that was a spinoff of Girlfriends. I don't really know how it was supposed to be like. Melanie was like Joan's cousin, and Drew was like, and then Derwin was, it's a lot of names. Then Derwin was Melanie's boyfriend in the NFL. Drew was this star. She played herself on the show. She was this star, this artist, literally played herself and her name. She played her name as well. And her and Derwin got into this entanglement, literally. And yeah, people, that's why when Drew first came on, even Marlo, she's like, she was still upset about her still for messing with med school. Like, that's still an ongoing joke because Drew was Drew on that show. So it's kind of hard to separate the character from the artist because she played herself on the show. But obviously it was an acting gig, but she actually played this celebrity named Drew Sidora. So that's a quick Bravo connection. Like, I did not know Kelsey Grammer was producing it as well. And then BET picked it up for like the last couple of seasons. It went downhill as soon as they told Tia Mowry to put a wig on. And it went downhill. Okay, some other news before we get into Atlanta. Demi and Jesse apparently follow each other again. I'm talking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So that's good and all, but I just hope they're not doing no production. I am hearing we can expect the next 10 episodes to be like dropping in the fall. Like, this was a 20 episode season. And if you can tell by the way it ended, it looks like we got a highlight and a glimpse of like what's to come as well following the season. But yes, it looks like they're following each other again. And then Jesse, or was it Demi? I think it was Demi that commented on someone's TikTok. She was like, there's so much more to the story. I wish you guys could understand, but you'll see soon. I hope they're not producing stuff now. But Demi definitely needed a friend, and she needed some more people dancing in those videos because Demi got 2 left legs and freaking butter noodles as arms. She can't dance. Her and Whitney tried to do this TikTok. I might insert it or not. Demi is stiff as a freaking branch on a tree. Like, stiff. She's not the dancer in the group at all. And it looked bad. Even Whitney's a dancer, though. Whitney was dancing. I don't know if it's because Whitney be putting all that all in that. But standing next to Demi, I'm questioning why she was on Mom Talk in the first place. Because I'm like, girl, you should not be doing no TikToks. Hers was so bad, y'all. I'm going to try to find the video and play it. Demi cannot dance. So she's cool with Jesse again. So the 3 of them at least can make TikToks. Because half the cast still not messing with Demi. So I don't know. Finally, our last one, Demi Lovato is married. I'm also inserting those pictures. This will have all the pictures. Demi Lovato looks amazing. She looks amazing. Didn't she marry her producer boyfriend? She looks so amazing. Yeah, Jordan Jutes Lutz. Period. I'm pretty sure that's her producer. And then she's in this Vivienne Westwood wedding dress. Amazing. AMAs are also out right now, the AMA Awards. I saw a glimpse of Janae Craig's dress. I might insert that too. Man, I'm going to be up today. I'm going to be so tired because I want to insert all these clips. Janae Craig looks really good. That's from Love Island last season. Love Island USA, the season that really took off. Leah, you know, Serena, Janae, PPG. She looks really good. I'm finally glad she did something different with her hair. But yes, I'll insert that picture. And more stars are supposed to be showing up. But I was on Twitter one more time before I logged on, and I saw Janae, and I was like, period, Janae. But let's move on to our Atlanta recap. This episode was a little dry until the end because I was just like, what was that? So Shamia and Kelly announced that they are hosting a trip to Grenada. I'm weak that Kelly made Shamia guess. And I just feel like it was taking Shamia a while. It would have taken me a while too, because she just told her Caribbean. They also want to provide aid for Grenada. So I think it's like a nice like 2-in-1 special. Like, let's go have a good time. Let's also go help them, because I guess Grenada just had a hurricane. So they need some aid, of course. And then we have Portia house hunting. Now, Portia is house hunting in these extravagant homes. Portia's not a stranger to an extravagant home. Her house before Simon was a big home, but I'm pretty sure she was renting it because it was Nene Leakes. It was in Nene Leakes' neighborhood. But she's shopping for a home, 7 bedrooms or 8 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. I don't know how much sense that makes now with her life, given she is going through a divorce. And that's why I always say Portia's trying to like keep up with the Mortons. Shamia, her best friend from childhood. I feel like she's really trying to keep up with her, and it's really exhausting as a viewer because I'm like, now, Portia, what do you need with 8 bedrooms? It's just you and Pilar. I don't know. She didn't really need much. Okay, so Britt is throwing an event for her shapewear brand. I'm just sliding that in there right now. We're not talking about that yet. We're not. So Angela is showing her investment property to Charles. Angela is in the mud with this investment property because she keeps investing money in it, and it's not turning around well. Like, she had it on the market for a lot more, and now she's back at the original price she got it at. I also like to say Angela loves her some low-rise jeans. Like, that stomach is out, the belly is out, she looks good, the abs are out, the belly button, the butt cheek. She loves her low-rise jeans. If you can pull it off, I feel like only certain people can pull off low-rise jeans, and it's giving she can pull it off on period. But I'm like, every scene, I swear she loves some low-rise jeans. So yes, Angela apologizes to Charles because she's like, she got the full story from her mom as to why they fell out. And she's like, she didn't know that. And she wanted to apologize for him for not believing him and backing him. And he's like, I don't really like to rehash stuff. We know the type of guy Charles is. He don't like to rehash stuff. I don't blame him. Angela is then hesitant to bring Charles to Britt's event. So I'm pretty sure he was the only husband besides Mike. But she brought him, and she brought him for a reason. We'll get to that soon. So I guess we are there. Because like I said, nothing really happened in this. I just want to talk about this party. So Britt is throwing a shapewear party, and she's having it at a country club, and they golf. So Britt, Kelly, and Shamia were golfing in heels in the grass at a country club. In derby outfits. The way my head was spinning this whole scene. So if you're throwing a shapewear event, why are we on a golf course at a country club? I don't know if it's because she didn't want to seem like she was jocking off of Portia, because Portia's event made sense. Pampered by Portia, the ladies were in lingerie. It made sense. I don't know if that's what Britt's original plan was, to do something like that. I also don't think the husbands need to be there for shapewear, but it makes sense because then we get inside of the country club, which is a whole thing. And she literally is upset at the event planner because they brought out menus for everyone. So Britt has a lot of her guests there. Her friends are there. And she's basically like, y'all can't get a plate. And that's not my fault. She's like, y'all were supposed to just get free liquor. And I'm just like, what? Britt, rookie mistake, bad move. First of all, we didn't know what your event was for. It was just random props set up. Ooh, I wish Kenya was on to roast her at this moment, because Kenya would have roasted her. What is this event for? So now most of your guests, the people that have known you before this show, can't even eat. And then you also didn't bring them any gifts. That is bad. So people are watching the housewives eat. Did not like that at all. It was giving peasants. I did not like that. I did not like that, especially because one of her friends was there talking to Portia when Portia showed up. And it was her friend. It said Britt's friend. So imagine I'm your friend before all these other girls. I'm sitting at you for your scene supporting you, and I don't even get a plate or a custom design. Like, I feel like Britt should have just kept it at cocktail hour then in her derbs, if that's what she could afford. Because I don't think she could have afforded everyone to eat, clearly. And then she should have had a table full of goodie bags of shapewear with tissue paper, something. It looks like they just came out the warehouse, the factory. Because I know she wasn't at home stitching that. Terrible event. Terrible event. So let's talk about what happened at this terrible event. Besides Cynthia Bailey dipping out early, because Cynthia's like, I don't do these type of events. I was just in Beverly Hills eating with freaking Kathy Hilton. She's like, talk about a downgrade of an event. Oh, that was terrible. So that really rubbed me the wrong way, not having food for your guests and having a center table for the housewives to eat. Because no matter if you need extras or guests to sit in the background, come to this party, everyone's eating, everyone's drinking. It rubbed me the wrong way. It was giving, oh, so you really are a fan. You really don't need to be on this show at all. What else happens? She gives Angela an XL. Just because Angela is tall does not mean she's an XL. Angela looks good. She was probably a small medium, if that. I think she was probably a small like them, because the point of shapewear is to snatch you in. I have a Skims bodywear. I don't even wear it because I am a small, but when I tell you I wear it, I can't breathe. Like, I'm out of breath just thinking about it. So the fact that you give Angela XL, shady, and her husband there, whatever. So Angela then pivots the conversation with Charles sitting next to her and says that, yeah, so Charles does not have a side baby. And just stops the conversation. So I like Angela, but knowing how your husband is, I don't know. I just feel like maybe we could have saved that for another time. But I was here for it because it was messy and I love a good mess. But Angela, just to say that, and you know how Charles is, like, Charles literally rolled his eyes. And then Britt was like, well, I'm not one of Charles' whores. And Charles is just like, I don't even deal with hoes. And then you could tell Charles is like really fed up with Britt. And he was just like, he gave her the hand. He was just like, all right. Like, he did not want to be in that scene. And that's why I'm like, people say that Charles don't love Angela, but I'm like, if he didn't love Angela, would he not show up in scene and do that when he clearly doesn't want to? Would he not show up on scene and talk trash with his wife? He doesn't even try to talk trash because he's over it. He doesn't even want to talk about the family issues. I think he loves her. And the fact he ain't he looked at her crazy, but he was just like, Lord, it makes so much sense now because they were addressed or they were confronted or approached, I don't know why I said confronted, to be on Atlanta multiple times and they turned it down. So it makes so much sense now as to why they're on it. I think she really had to convince him to get on there. So what else happens? Drew says that she doesn't like how Shamia took that comment about Pilar funding her education back to Portia. Now, Drew, I'm thoroughly enjoying Drew this season, even though I keep forgetting she's there because she shows up late to everything, which is something Phaedra also says. She says that she shows up late to everything. I'm enjoying Drew, but I will say, you said that in a shady way, and I wouldn't have said that. She's like, oh, I could have afforded Pilar's college, depending on how this album goes. I mean, it wasn't really necessary, but she was trying to be shady. But of course, Shamia's going to go back and tell Portia that because it has something to do with Pilar. But was it being shady? 110%. Was it mean shade? No. But I don't even know why she's bothered by that. Of course, Shamia's going to go back and tell Portia that. I would tell my friend that, like, oh, and this is what else she said. Like, you know what I mean? And then she also says that Drew asks how old her and Shamia are. And this is after she tells Shamia again that she's the lap dog. Shamia's upset. Shamia's barking again. She's like, you're getting on my nerves. Something really rubs Shamia the wrong way. I think it's because she is trying to step out of Portia's shadows. Every time Drew calls her a lap dog, it triggers her. And I just found it so funny because I wrote in my notes, Drew's like, how old are we? Shamia was like, in human years or dog years. That was funny. That's a good taking the joke, spinning it back, throwing it back at you. Like, in human years or dog years, since you want to call me a lap dog. What else happened? Drew. So then that's the party. Rub me the wrong way. No food, only drinks for the guests. That's illegal. You can't serve people drinks and not have food also. So that is illegal. I'm pretty sure. So then Drew calls Dennis. So we get a scene next of Drew. She's signing some papers. She calls Dennis to confront him on the rumors that's saying she was trying to trade sex in order for studio free time. And he's like, well, where's the free time then? Because studio, I know sessions cost money. Like, if you want to do like a 3-hour session in the studio at that, because they be doing like half a day. That's at least like 2 bands right there. So he's like, I wish. But Dennis is telling Portia one thing, telling Drew another. You can't really trust Dennis. But I don't really trust Portia or Drew at this point either. But so let's get to the fun part. So now we get another scene. Portia rings that doorbell. This woman with blonde bombshell hair. I thought she entered the villa with this Gucci 3-piece set on. Answers the door. Phaedra Parks is back. My girl. The girls are still mad over what she did to Kandi Burruss decades ago. I will say a low point in Housewives. That is a low point. So when people are over here crying about, Sutton's wallet comment, I'm like, we got serious accusations on Atlanta that literally banished a girl from the season in seasons to come until Kandi left. So when y'all want to talk about, oh my gosh, it's so rude what Sutton said about Dorit, calling her Puri, y'all don't watch Atlanta. Y'all don't even watch Potomac, because we have Giselle, who is still on there, who made serious allegations towards Candace's husband. But we move on. I've moved on past the Phaedra thing. You guys should too, to enjoy your viewing, because it was a good 10 minutes of pure shade. She was dropping down her impressions of everyone she met. She said Britt has more bodies than Mr. Willie Watkins, who owns a funeral home. The shade assassin is back. Y'all miss Kenya? I missed Phaedra all this time. I missed her this whole entire time. What else did she say? So production has put Phaedra in the main credits now. She is sitting with the ladies, even though she shut up for 2 weeks of filming. She has an intro card, even more than Cynthia. She's back. She's back. What else did she say? So Phaedra they do like flip to her to kind of talk about like the last time you were here. It wasn't that great. Let me turn on my light in the back because it's getting super dark in my room. Okay, that's better. They're like, so the last time you were on here, it was not that great. And she was like, she admits the last time she was on there, it was not her best. And I was shocked she even addressed it. But I'm sure they were like, look, in order for you to come back to Atlanta, we got to have some recognition to the last time. So they did play that reunion, the accusations. And she says something. She says, he who is without sin, he who cast the first stone. So the thing, people are saying she's a lawyer. So basically she's saying those should not judge if they themselves are not perfect. I was expecting some more accountability, but that's what she had to say on it. I want to talk about Watch Happens Live briefly because Andy kind of asked a question or whatever. But that's what she said in regards to it. I'm not really mad at it. But I was just like, okay, you could have been like, she just said it wasn't her best and she has regret. But there's some tea, y'all. There's some tea in regards to all that we're going to get into very soon. So yeah, I'm just like, Phaedra's back, the shade. Her comments about Kelly and Brett. She says she loves short people or short things. She says she loves Lil Wayne, Lil Baby, little people. So she loves Kelly. She said her and Shami are in a good place now. They've seen each other out and about. She also says that on Watch Up Inside, like Shami has given her Atlanta Hawks like tickets, everything. That's that. And even Portia says like it was very much a healing key. Like she really needed this because the group has been so like dark and it has been like Portia. So I'm sure she's enjoying this. And I even think seeing Phaedra back is just like nostalgia. It's like, are we getting a step closer to having Nene Leakes back on the show? Because they're keeping her clips in now when before they just cut it out completely. So I don't know. Also, Phaedra talks about her and Portia's relationship being like a bicycle and like how they had a falling out and how they're cool now. So I thought that was really good as well to even point out. But yeah, I'm always like, who's driving? But yes, I'm just like, it was so good to see Phaedra back on the show. I really ate it up. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was just good to see her. And I'm excited. I think we have like 4 episodes left, y'all. Not that long, unfortunately. I think we have like 3 or 4 episodes. I don't think 2, because I think we have the trip. I hope they don't end in the trip. I don't know. But Miss Phaedra Parks is back. Let's get into Bravo's Love Hotel. What are we at? Okay. Yeah, let's get into... I'm tired, y'all. I am tired. And I just want to get into Bravo's Love Hotel because what happened? So Shannon... I thought she was breaking up with Earl. She did not, thankfully. Because I'm just like, girl, you don't need to break up with that man. She found his, I'm like, what is that? She found his, stepson, though. Who he did talk about, like, once he divorced, him and his ex-wife divorced, like, he never saw the stepson again. Like, he just wouldn't ever again. So I thought that was very considerate for her to do. And I'm just like, wow, she didn't have to do that. So her and Earl are back on good terms. She was like, she feels like she's getting to know the old him again. She actually gives the other guy the boot, keeps Earl, gives him her key. Jay bows out because he's like, he's not connecting clearly with Giselle or Shannon. He's like, I don't think the person I'm looking for is here. I'm glad he did. I don't think Giselle's really clicking with anyone. She says she's clicking with Phil, and then this new guy that comes on. But Giselle is looking for money. And it's so evident. It's kind of like, we didn't really need Giselle on the show. Like, it's funny, but she's not really looking for love. She's not. So Ashley gives her key to Ralph, even though he's a bag kisser. But they all choose to save Wale. Wale is catching on to Ashley's games. I don't think he's going to stick around much longer. He said that she has more buttons than a PlayStation game console. Wale with a read. Ashley's a player. Ashley likes old white men. She's trying to fix her daddy issues as an excuse. That is... Do we believe it? No. She's looking to secure the bag. Wale wants kids still, and he hasn't secured the bag yet. But Ashley says Ralph don't know how to kiss. But whenever she has a conversation with Wale, she's picking apart everything he says. I do agree with that. Like, he was like, it's not a problem that I want to have kids. Like, he's like, that's not a problem in our relationship. And she's like, well, don't say it's a problem. She's nitpicking everything. New set of men come in. And so there's 2 men that were after Ashley. She doesn't select any of them because she really likes Wale and Earl. I mean, not Earl. I mean, she might. But she really likes Wale and Ralph. Even though Ralph can't kiss, not shocked. Luann and James, it looks like they've christened her room finally. I was waiting on that because I'm just like, we all know Luann. Luann just loves a good time. What else happens? That's really much what happens. So there's one new guy that gets brought back. Giselle brings this guy back, this doctor, who literally says in his confessional it's hard for him to find love because as soon as someone finds out what he's doing, they're like, what can you do for me? And it's so sad because Giselle's really, in my opinion, coming off like a leech. Like, yes, she's coming off funny, but she's coming off as someone just looking for a come up. Like, you can tell she's never really dated money because every scene, it's like, oh, you have this, you have that. It's for me. Perfect. And he literally just said, and I felt so bad because he's like, every time I try to date people, they're like always looking for what can they get out of the relationship. And he's like, it's nice to go on here and like not have these like preconceived notions and stuff. But then we get the next scene of Giselle in her confessional, like, he's a doctor, I'm sure he has money. So I hated seeing that. I really did, because I genuinely do think he's a nice guy. But Giselle is so focused on finding a bag at this point and not finding love. But that's Bravo's Love Hotel. I think we have 4 more episodes left, possibly, of that, if that, maybe 3. I think it'll be wrapping up the same time Atlanta will. Very curious to see if it'll get greenlit for another season. I mean, I think it should, but I don't really see it ever trending on social media. So I wouldn't be shocked if it gets the boot. I just wouldn't be. Let's talk a little about Watch What Happens Live. So Phaedra was on Watch What Happens Live, of course, looking good. The blonde, Phaedra, it eats. She was on there with Lala Anthony and basically talking about her return. Andy, I thought just some things, I didn't even write this down, I'm just talking top of my head. Andy asked her if she sees Candy around. She's like, I've seen her every once in a while. They don't talk. But Andy also asked Lala Anthony, have you seen Larsa? Have you been in Miami? And she was like, no, I haven't seen Larsa. And then he was like, is she still in Kim K's circle? And Lala was like, you are messy, Andy. Like, she's like, I have not seen her. I'm not in Miami. So Larsa only stays in Miami, apparently. But they are not cool anymore. Because you all know, like, the whole Kim K of it all. Like, apparently, apparently there was a whole fallout. Larsa described it as she knew too much information. Speaking of Larsa, Miami is coming back very soon. What else happened? Phaedra just said it was nice to be back. She said there's no comparison when it comes to the Married to Medicine ladies. She also says she's on good terms with Toya. She talks to Dr. Simone. There was a video of her with Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone at some event. Like, they're cool. She said her and Contessa are cool. She said her and Sweet Tea are cool. Sweet Tea is not invited back to Married to Medicine, but it's pretty clear she's not cool with Dr. Jackie and Quad, which is unfortunate because she came on that show being cool with them. But I also thought that was interesting. I'm very much excited for Phaedra's return. I'm very much excited, but I think that was kind of everything. Y'all, I'm so tired. I'm ready to shower and go to bed. And I have so much other stuff to do. But that was kind of everything from, we talked about Real Housewives of Atlanta. We talked about the Bravo Love Hotel. We talked about some reality topics. Justin Bieber, homeboy needs help. But I'm really excited for our next episode because, of course, it is going to be a what's the reality on What the Reality. Stay tuned for the topic because you guys will be very happy with the topic. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you the next time.